be a lot of fun. But next up, we've got Gilbert Burns versus Khamzat Chimaev. I mean, what can you say about this fight? Khamzat is the hottest prospect in the sport right now, bar none. The guy's he's had 4 UFC fights. He's blasted all 4 of his opponents out of there very easily. He's, I think, 10-0 or 11-0 in MMA overall, and he's basically blasted all of his opponents out of there very quickly and very easily. He can get you out of there with strikes. He can get you out of there with grappling. He can submit you. I mean, he's solid everywhere. He's very big for the weight class. He's very strong. He's very aggressive. I think this is potentially a live betting spot too. It's hard for me to know what to say about this fight. Okay, well, let's look at that line first, because that's a good place to start talking about it here. Where are you? Why am I having trouble finding these lines? All right, I don't see it. I'm gonna pull it up on my William Hill app. I know approximately what it's at. I know Gilbert Burns is at about plus 425. And I think Khamzat might be like minus 550 or something like that. But I'm gonna pull it up so I'm not just making stuff up here. All right, so on William Hill, yeah, exactly what I said. On William Hill, Khamzat is minus 550. Gilbert Burns is plus 425. Now I believe that is a implied percentage. That plus 425 on Gilbert Burns implies that he has an 18% chance to win this fight. Even though Khamzat is as impressive as he is, I do feel like that line is a little bit crazy. I'm not going to lie. It just feels weird to think that Gilbert Burns has a less than 20% chance against any welterweight on the planet, even Khamzat. That just doesn't seem right to me. And when I break down the fight, when I go through and imagine how the fight plays out, I do see Khamzat winning. I do think Khamzat could even come out here and blow him out of the water in round 1 like he's done against everyone else. But even though I can see that possibly happening, I still feel like there's value on Gilbert Burns at plus 425. It still just seems weird to me to think Gilbert Burns has an 18% chance here. It just seems crazy to me. I don't know. And yet I haven't bet it. So obviously it doesn't seem too crazy to me. I mean, because I keep thinking that, as this week plays out, I think more and more people are going to be putting Khamzat in their parlays. I think we're going to see Burns get up to like plus 500 or something probably. And, if that happens, I will have to put a little something on Burns at plus 500. But I sort of see this fight a little bit like how I see the Jairzinho versus Tybura fight, as far as thinking that it's a good live betting spot. Because, yes, Khamzat might come out here and just blow Burns out of the water in round 1. How are we going to see Khamzat approach this fight? I don't know. I mean, obviously he knows Burns is very dangerous on the ground, but Khamzat's dangerous on the ground too. And I think when we see these guys face off, Khamzat is going to dwarf Burns. I mean, Khamzat is 4 inches taller. And I think Khamzat is just going to be the much bigger, more physical, stronger guy here. I think even if they do go to the ground, it could potentially be tough for Burns, because Khamzat is a good wrestler and he's just so strong. He's just so physically overpowering that I think it could be problematic for Burns. However, there's still so much that we don't know about Khamzat, and I really, really want to underline that point here. That's something that I really want to make sure we're thinking about, is we know what Khamzat Chimaev looks like when he's dominating. We do not know what he looks like when he's not dominating. We know he's a fantastic hammer. We don't know what kind of nail he is. We don't know what kind of chin he has. We don't know what he looks like off of his back. We don't know how well he takes a shot. We don't know how his heart and mindset holds up if he's on his back and is getting hammer fisted in the face. I mean, we've got reasons to believe, like, I know the guy works super hard. I know he's probably going to have excellent cardio. But here's the thing. We also know that some of that is genetic. We know that there are fighters who work really, really hard on their cardio and still don't have very good cardio because they just don't have very good cardio. They've made their cardio better by working hard, but it's only as good as it is. And then there's guys, look at Clay Guida, for example. Clay Guida has the kind of cardio where he can fight hard for 5 minutes, and then when the fight is over, he gets up and he's still jumping up and down. Now, is that because Clay Guida works that much harder than everyone else? Of course not. That's partially genetic. He was partially born with that. I could work as hard as Clay Guida does, and I wouldn't have that same cardio because I just wasn't born with the physicality, the body, the cardio that he has. So even though we know Chimaev works very, very hard, I mean, the guy is a total hoss. He is out there working his ass off. We know that, but that does not mean that he's going to have amazing cardio. We don't know. Does he probably have amazing cardio? Sure, he probably does, but we don't know. And he comes out so aggressively. He always comes out looking to wrestle aggressively, and then once he's on the ground, he goes Donkey Kong style with the strikes. I don't know if you've ever done that if you train, but you know, next time you're in the gym, straddle one of those bags, or you know, a dummy or a bag or whatever. Straddle it and just go Donkey Kong on it really hard, as hard as you can, like that, for about 20 seconds, and just see how you feel. That shit tires you out. That tires you out hard. So, what if Khamzat comes out the way that he always does, comes out super hard like a bat out of hell, and he's able to take Burns down, and he's going Donkey Kong on him, but Burns is able to roll out, and then he's striking again, and he's working hard and whatever. Like, what if that's how the round 1 plays out, and yet we get into round 2? Now what does Khamzat look like? Is he going to be able to come out with that same ferocity and that same aggression after working that hard in round 1? I don't know, but it doesn't seem likely. You know, I don't know. And I just think there are so many questions marks here. And I think the people who are confidently parlaying Chimaev, confidently picking Chimaev to win, confidently betting him to win in round 1, whatever it is they might be doing, I think they're forgetting to think about that. I think we're so accustomed to seeing Chimaev come out and do Chimaev things that we don't even know what happens when he doesn't, or if he does Chimaev things and they don't have the usual effect that they do, which is finishing the fight. So I think this is a fight that you want to look at betting live, because Chimaev is probably going to come out and have a great first round, probably even going to get Burns out of there in the first round. But if he doesn't, you're probably going to get a fantastic line. Like I said, I think there's already value on Burns at plus 425. By the time the fight starts, is he going to be up at like plus 500? Maybe. There's even better value on that. However, if Chimaev comes out and absolutely dominates and beats the hell out of Burns in round 1, but doesn't get the finish, now are you going to get plus 1,000 on Burns? You know, I don't know, but I think that's what I want to look at, is looking at live betting this if we get through round 1. But as far as, you know, looking at the technical breakdown here, obviously Khamzat is much bigger. He is a good striker. He's got great power. Burns is a decent striker and has heavy hands and big power too. But I think Chimaev is probably going to be the better striker, and obviously he's got the bigger reach and is just the bigger guy. He's got fast hands. I think Burns is probably going to have trouble on the feet. If they go to the ground, obviously, you know, Burns has those. You know, not only is he a great grappler in an MMA sense, he still competes in sport jiu-jitsu and competes at the highest level and even beats some of the highest level guys still. So, I mean, he is a very high level grappler. However, Chimaev is also a great grappler and is very strong and dominant in that way. Like I said, you know, I've seen people saying that they think that because of how dangerous Burns is on the ground that Chimaev is going to not want to go to the ground. I don't think that's necessarily true. I guess we'll see, but yeah, at this point, I'm just kind of talking in circles, telling you the same things over and over again, like I tend to do when I just start blabbing about a fight. But yeah, I personally, at that like minus 550 or whatever, I wouldn't parlay Chimaev. I don't think you're getting enough. I don't think you're adding enough value to a parlay by putting him in there that it's worth it, because of all the things that we don't know, especially if we get outside of the first round. So yeah, if Gilbert gets up to like plus 500, I may sprinkle his money line a little bit. I may also look at some of his props. But yeah, I'm mostly going to be interested in potentially betting Gilbert live if we get out of the first round, which we probably won't, if I'm being honest. But I'm Team Gilbert here. I would love to see Gilbert win this. Not that I don't love Khamzat. Not that I don't think Khamzat is the future of the division. I believe that that's true, but I'm a guy who's always pulling for the underdog. I always want, when everybody is counting someone out, I want that person to win. I don't even care who it is. So I would love to see Burns win here. You know, Chimaev is going to lose eventually. Is it going to be Saturday against Burns? I don't know, but I think it would be cool if it was.